everyone, welcome to Taste and Explore. My name is Darlene and I have something fantastic to show you today. We're making homemade pasta from scratch. It's so simple, it's so delicious, it takes minimal ingredients, but the process is not bad because we have a machine, so it's going to help us work out the dough quicker than what we expected. So this is ingredients so we can get started. I have 3 large eggs at room temperature. I got 1/3 cup of olive oil. I got 1 cup of semolina flour, which is Italian flour for pasta making. I have a teaspoon of salt, and I have about 4 cups of regular all-purpose flour. We're probably going to use between 3 or 2 depending on the humidity and how much flour we need to make the dough. And this is the machine that we're going to get started with, which is the food processor. You can do it by hand. It is very time consuming that way, but nothing to be afraid of. I mean, if you want to see it that way, I would surely be happy to make it from scratch. But we're going to just get started by just putting some flour in here. I'm going to put about 2 scoops of that, about 2.5. So this is really simple, guys. I mean, it's not really that much time consuming. I mean, if you come to think about it, really, it's not that difficult. I mean, I know this is what Taste and Explore is all about, people. Making homemade, fresh, doing things different, outside the box. Because sometimes it's just got to be that way. You can't always rely on supermarket quality food. You got to try and explore and taste yourself. Alright, this process is very noisy, but I'm going to show you how it looks after this is done. So see you soon. Alright, so I had to put 2 tablespoons of water in here because it was getting really stuck. It's moving a lot better. And the dough is ready. Sometimes that's going to happen depending on the humidity in your house. It's pretty dry in here, so I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on the table so we can just knit it out a little bit. It doesn't need too much knitting, but just a little bit. It's already mixed in. It's a little bit tacky. So we're just gonna work the dough. Let's just put a little bit more flour. It's pretty much all mixed up. That's it. It's all mixed up because of the machine. When you do it by hand, that process alone will be just like 15-20 minutes. So yeah, you know, we saved a little time because the machine mixed it and knit it on its own, but just a little bit. Alright, so I just knitted it for about 10 minutes. You know, the machine did its job. Alright, it's really hard right now. So what happens is that it needs to rest. So that way the gluten can loosen up and it can be nice and elastic when we stretch it out in our pasta machine. So I'm going to wrap it up. And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about a half an hour to an hour. It's going to relax. Don't touch it. Leave it alone for about a half an hour to an hour. I'll meet you back and I'm going to show you the next process into making our homemade pasta. And that's it. This is our pasta ball pretty much right here. The rest is really simple and it's magnificent. Can't wait for you to see the end results. See you soon. So we're just flattening out. The gluten has done its job. So what we want to do is cut it in half and then in quarters like a pizza pie. pieces at a time for this. And you can cut it any way you want. It's not no particular way. You can just tear it up. So we're going to start by rolling this into the machine. Now I have it on my largest setting. That's how you do it first. And then the machine flattens it out. And then you fold it in half. I make sure I have flour. It's flour on it. It's not tacky. So just fold it in half and repeat the process again. This is the second time. So now we are going to change the setting to the next size down. Okay, the next size down. And we're going to put it in again. It's perfect. It's just as thin as I want it. I don't know if you can see my hand almost see-through like. This is how we want it, this thin. And I'm going to show you our next process of making it into the to the shape that I want it in. Okay, so I see you soon. So we're all done. We flattened them out. And remember what I told you before, we took a piece, we flattened it really good. We put it on the smallest setting, which is the highest number, which is 7. You run it down, you fold it, and you repeat the process 2 times. Once folded, and then you repeat it all the way up till you feel like it's thin. I stopped at the setting at number 2 because I felt like it was thin enough. I don't want it to tear. So now I'm just starting to make the shape that I want it to be, which I haven't decided. This machine brings 2 shapes. It brings a fettuccine and it brings a pasta. Spaghetti, I'm sorry. It brings spaghetti and fettuccine. I decided on the fettuccine one. And look at that baby go. Wow. Isn't this incredible? Homemade pasta. From scratch. There's nothing that beats homemade. Let me tell you. This is so different from anything that you ever tasted. Different than store-bought. Different than the restaurant. Different than anything. I don't care what you spend on your products in the supermarket and the Whole Food store. This does not cut homemade. So delicious. So tasty. So awesome. So let's make more. Like I said, forgive me for my sniffles. I have the allergies and it's springtime over here in the Bronx. And the pollen is crazy. So let me first, right here. Then we put a little bit of flour on it so it doesn't stick together. And then before we cook it, we're going to shake off the excess flour. I just want it to not stick. And before we cook it, like I said, we can shake off the excess flour. And this is how it is. I'm gonna make a few. Alright guys, so here we have it. Our pasta is done. It looks delicious. What I would like to do is, you see how long they are? I mean, I personally don't want to cook them like this straight and long. So I would like cut them in half, you know, and just put them here. Now here are the instructions for this. This cooks like super fast. So boil your water first. Add plenty of salt. And once you put the pasta in the boiling water, it's going to be done in like 3 minutes. So don't walk away. It's not like the box of stuff pasta. This is fresh. So it cooks like in 3 minutes. So once it's in the boiling water, it's going to float to the top. 3 minutes, it's done. That's it. Scoop it out immediately and serve with your desired sauces. Hello again. Well, as you see, our final product is all done. I let it dry for between an hour and 3 hours. You can let it dry longer. I just wanted to make it a little stiff so that way I can store it in freezer Ziploc bags. This is how you could store it. You could store it in the refrigerator for up to a week, but you can store it in Ziploc bags for up to 6 months in the freezer. And then just take it out whenever you're ready to cook. And when you're ready to cook it, boil your water first, add your salt, and then immediately just drop in the pasta. You don't have to wait until it thaws out, okay? So I hope you enjoy what you saw. I really hope that you try it out for yourself. Remember, you don't have to be a professional. You just have to love what you do. You have your hands to help you. And the simple way that we did it with the tools, the kitchen tools. So I'll see you soon. Here we have it, fettuccine from scratch. Thank you for watching Taste to Explores, learning how to make pasta. My God, when you try this at home, let me tell you something. Don't be afraid of the kitchen. This ain't for professionals only. Anybody can do it. I am not a professional. I just love to cook. And I love to teach to cook. So I hope that this experience was a magnificent experience. I hope that this encourages you to get into the kitchen, buy yourself a couple of little handy dandy tools. You're going to use it. It's going to be well worth it. And it's not going to break your pocket. And look, I mean, come on. Look at this. This is like homemade. You can't beat this. It's not coming out of your home and it's not made with your clean hands. So get into the kitchen, make yourself this. Follow me on Facebook. Hello, I'm looking for some friends. Follow me on Facebook. And you know what? Stick around. I have tons of other recipes. There's way more different kind of pasta recipes I'm dying to bring to you. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.